The night was cold, and the wind howled through the empty streets as Jason sat in his car staring at his phone screen. His mind raced with thoughts that refused to settle. His fingers tapped against the steering wheel. His heart pounded with an uneasiness. He could not shake the message from UDY had been clear. The test was set. His girlfriend Amelia was about to be tested for loyalty, and he would be watching every second of it. The camera was already rolling, and his screen showed her sitting on the couch in what looked like an elegant lounge. The man across from her was the decoy. Someone she had never met, but someone trained to see if she would remain loyal to Jason or betray him with a stranger. The plan was simple. The decoy would flirt, drop hints, see if she took the bait. Jason had told himself that this was for closure, that he just needed the truth. But deep down, he was not sure if he was ready for whatever came next. The moment the decoy leaned in and whispered something to her, she laughed, and it sent an uneasy feeling through his stomach. He could not hear the words, but he saw her reaction. She was smiling, she was twirling her hair, she was leaning in just slightly. His chest tightened, his hands clenched into fists. She would not betray him, she loved him, or so he thought. The minutes dragged on. Every second felt like an hour. His pulse was erratic, his breath shallow. He watched as the decoy reached for her hand, and for a moment, she did not pull away. Jason's body tensed, his jaw clenched. The air in his car felt suffocating. He wanted to scream at the screen, tell her to move away, to remember him, to remember them. But all he could do was watch. The decoy continued talking. Amelia continued listening. Jason's world began to spin. Was she cheating? Was she entertaining this man? Or was she just being polite? Maybe he was overreacting. Maybe this was all a misunderstanding. But as the conversation went on, the decoy asked a question that made Jason freeze. Are you happy with your boyfriend? Amelia hesitated. Jason's stomach twisted into a knot. Her eyes darted to the side. She bit her lip. She let out a small sigh, then she finally answered. I mean, we have our problems, but doesn't everyone? Jason's blood turned cold. Problems. What problems did they have that he did not know about? He was about to hear more, but then something happened that changed everything. The decoy placed his hand on Amelia's knee, and she did not pull away. Jason's heart dropped. His mind screamed at him to stop watching, but he could not tear his eyes away. Then she spoke, her words barely above a whisper. Honestly, I just want to feel appreciated again. Jason's world shattered in that instant. His body felt numb. His thoughts were a blur. She wanted to feel appreciated again. What did that mean? Had he not shown her enough love? Had he not given her enough attention? His mind spiraled with self-doubt, anger, sadness, confusion. Everything hit him at once. But then, just as he was about to close the screen, something happened that changed everything again. Amelia pulled back. She looked the decoy in the eyes and shook her head. I can't, she said. I love my boyfriend and I wouldn't do this to him. Jason's breath, hitched relief, washed over him, but it was quickly followed by something else. Something darker. Something that made his stomach churn. The decoy tilted his head, his expression unreadable. He then pulled out his phone, tapped a few times, and slid it across the table to Amelia. Jason squinted at the screen, his heart stopping when he saw what was displayed, a picture of himself sitting in his car, watching the test unfold. Amelia's face drained of color. Her hands trembled. She looked around as if suddenly aware of her surroundings. Jason felt the blood drain from his own face. How did the decoy have that picture? He checked his surroundings. His car was parked far away. No one could have possibly seen him unless someone was watching him. Unless someone had planned for this, unless the loyalty test was not about Amelia at all. Amelia's voice broke the silence. What is this? Her voice shook. The decoy leaned back and smirked. Do you really think you are the one being tested? Amelia's hands gripped the edge of the table, her knuckles turning white. Jason's breathing became ragged. His heart pounded so hard he thought it would explode. Then the decoy spoke again. Jason is hiding something from you. Amelia's face twisted in confusion. Jason's world tilted on its axis. What was happening? This was not the test he had planned. This was not how it was supposed to go. His palms were sweaty, his body rigid. He could feel his heartbeat in his throat. The decoy continued. Do you want to know the truth? Amelia Jason's vision blurred. The walls of the car closed in on him. This was a trap, but for who? Before he could think of his next move, Amelia whispered, Tell me. The decoy leaned forward, lowered his voice, and spoke words that Jason could not hear. Amelia's eyes widened, her breath hitched, her hand flew to her mouth. Jason felt his soul leave his body. What was